Thank you. That was such a great introduction. I don't know who he was talking about. But good morning.
Good morning.
You're the God's helpers and no beginnings warriors. Thank you so much. Oh, they can see me. I couldn't wear a bit higher heel. This is all I can do. So, I want to thank you, and I want to be here to echo that voice of appreciation. I know that, I don't know if you know, but you all make a huge difference in so many lives. And whether you know it or not, this organization is depending heavily on you. And like you, I am aspired to make an impact in the community that I live in, to give back and to help transform lives. Like Eric said, I give back because my family and I were once the people who came to this brand new country at 16 years old. We were given the chance to establish our beginnings. And volunteers like you have given us that chance. Organizations like New Beginnings had helped us tremendously. So a little bit about my journey. I am one of the 5 children in my family. I'm the oldest one. And I left my country, our family left our country in 1979 after 4 years surviving with the communists. So we're Chinese, live in Vietnam, and the discrimination and the oppression was very palpable, and the only choice to survive is to flee the country. And that's what we did. So we escaped by boat. That's why we got the name Boat People back then. And the boat was stacked with about 500 people, 502 to be exact, in a small boat. And it was a dangerous journey. We left the boat not knowing that we were ever gonna reach dry land. And the only thing we had is the sack of hopes in our hands and a cloud of fear over our heads. But we headed out to the vast ocean of South China Sea, survived 4 rounds of pirates attacks, multiple times that I didn't think we were gonna make it. The boat at one time had holes in it. The engine was broken, and we just drift directionless without a compass in the Gulf of Thailand. So luckily, we have met an oil rig which saved us. So the whole journey was, not the whole journey, a little glimpse of the journey was, had a privilege to share that on my TEDx talk this past January. So if you want to know more about me, please feel free to go into YouTube and search for I Did Not Miss the Boat. That's what the title of the talk. Literally, didn't miss the boat. And for me, missing that boat was just a very early symbol of my life. Missing the boat in life is much, much more important, which we don't want to do. And for the longest time, I was hesitating on that boat in life. It finally took me a long time to regain the courage to climb on the boat to be where I am today. And I want to share that with you. So when we got to Minnesota, thanks to this beautiful Lutheran church who sponsored us in January of 1980. Yeah, you heard it right. January 1980. Coming from Vietnam, which is 100-degree weather, to a sub-zero degree in Minnesota, we were shocked with the weather, but more than that we were fascinating with the snow. So a lot of time we forgot about our issues. Penniless, homeless, didn't even speak any English. But we were all happy because the town of Onamia had the most beautiful people. It's less than 800 people in that town. And a lot of them were volunteers. They may not even belong to the Lutheran church, but they were organized in a way that they help us and make us feel loved and welcome. And they inspire me. They really teach me hope and courage. And because of that inspiration, I carry with me, and I tell myself that someday, when I'm able, that's what I want to do. I want to give back. I want to help people build lives. I'm sorry, I've got a little emotion I shouldn't. So, speaking from a person who experienced both ends, the receiving end and the giving ends, I can tell you it's much, much more rewarding and gratifying on the giving end. I learn so much from the people I give. And it reminds me every day, even though my family's only stayed in Minnesota for only 6 months because we can only take so much of the cold. But we moved to Pennsylvania, but the people in Onamia was always in our heart. And recently I have made connection back to them, and we have interacting, and actually hopefully next week I will be out in Tampa, meet one of Karen, one of the teacher, will come to our home, teach my parent English every week. It'll be 39 years. I'm going to see her the first time next week. I'm so excited. But there's so much in the backhand that people volunteer and help that I wasn't aware of. But without all those not seen and heard hands, like what you do for No Beginnings, have changed people's lives that you can't even imagine. I'm here today because people and volunteers like you. So thank you for that. There's a Vietnamese proverb say that một miếng khi đói bằng một gói khi no, meaning that when you help people when they're at the bottom, at the rock bottom, it means so much more. They will carry that to their heart to the day that they die. It's much more than when you give it to them when they don't really need it. So what you do is awesome, beautiful. I want to thank Steve and Linda and Stephanie and all the staff in No Beginnings for giving us, the volunteers, a meaningful mission to donate our time, our talents, and our treasures. I also want to thank the residents of No Beginnings. They have taught me to be humble, and they remind me all the time that every one of us need a lift, a helping hand from time to time. Helping them helped me to truly understanding the meaning of love. And that's one of the Americans' proverbs saying that, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man a fish, you feed him for a lifetime. And that's what No Beginnings have been doing. So I encourage you to continue on and pass that fishing skill to preserve the awesome feeling of giving and volunteering. And thank you for all you do at No Beginnings.